What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Burke, aka Dan's Great here. I figured I would start this session in like a different kind of location with a different kind of vibe, because this, my friends, is the beginning of the end. It has been a 2-year journey through the Final Fantasy X Pbirdman mod, and it has all been leading up to this battle against Penance. Penance has always been the ultimate super boss of this game. Even in vanilla, the first time that you beat Penance, you always got a buzz. 12 million HP, so powerful, requires really good stats, requires a specialized armor, and all that kind of stuff. So the fact that I get to face it in the Pbirdman mod, given how many incredibly difficult and epic battles we've had along the way over the last 2 years, is a special moment for me. So before I head into it, I just want to take another opportunity just to thank everyone that has been on this journey for 2 years with me, watching the weekly episodes, liking the videos, commenting, sending me lovely messages about how you've been looking forward to episodes and enjoying stuff, generally providing support and feedback about the quality of the mod and things you'd like to see differently, and all that kind of stuff. It's been such a special series once again, and Final Fantasy X is always special for me on the channel, as you know. But it's been such a pleasure once again to get to play through my favorite game of all time for you guys in such a unique way, and get to experience the game in a way I've never experienced it before, and to have a playthrough that's lasted 2 years, and to have so much back and forth with, you know, for me, someone who's an icon of the Final Fantasy X community, Pbirdman, someone who just knows such an incredible amount about the game and that's put in so much time and effort. He's such a sort of niche and hidden gem in the Final Fantasy community that I'm just so glad that I got to, through my content, have him be known by more people, because he really does deserve it. And regardless of what you think about the mod and how good it is, what you can't deny is the amount of time and effort he has put into creating this thing by himself. And especially over the last 2 years, getting to chat to him, you know, becoming friends with him and talking endlessly about this mod and what we can do to make it better, seeing the amount of time he's put in despite the fact that he has a day job, and you know, he's not doing this for any kind of return in terms of, you know, financial return or exposure or anything like that. He's just a guy who from day one has wanted to create something to benefit the community and to have something that players can enjoy, and nothing more than that. That's all he's ever wanted. Always so humble and always puts the game and the experience first, and I love him for that. And I just hope that this series has done his mod justice and has helped him make the mod the best that it can be. So thank you to Pbirdman, and thank you to everybody that's taken the time to watch this so far. But we are at the end of the road. We just need to beat Penance and we are done with this mod. So let's have a look at the situation here. These are the stats that I defeated the hardest variant of the Dark Maga Sisters with. So 255 in all the left-hand stats, above 170 agility, and above 120 luck. That's what we got, and we went up to 76,000 HP and 2,000 MP. These are officially the highest stats I've ever had in any run that I've had on Final Fantasy X. It's been insane. And I guess now we have to see if this is going to be enough to take out Penance. I was talking to Pbirdman. He took a long time with this battle because, of course, it's the final one. It's a bit like Braska's Final Leon with the storyline stuff. He's really tried his best to put as much time to test this as he could and make it a cool battle, and to end the mod on a high, because this really is it. I mean, after 220 hours on this particular save, God knows how many hours overall if you compare like all of the other attempts that didn't get recorded, or that, you know, did get recorded and I didn't end up using, and you know, all of this kind of stuff. It's been an absolutely mammoth playthrough and series. He wanted to end it on the best note that he could, so he's been taking a lot of time with this one, and he said that there's certain things that he really tried to do to sort of take things to another level, but that he was restricted with in terms of obviously the coding of the game and what he was able to tinker and that kind of stuff. But he said this has been sort of like my best attempt so far, and this is the first draft of the Penance battle. So it's important to know that this is the first draft. No one has ever tested this battle before, of course, except Pbirdman himself. And even with Pbirdman, he doesn't literally beat the battle from start to finish using, you know, stats or using like strategies that I would use and that kind of stuff. He just tests for functionality in most cases to make sure the moves are working, that they're doing the kind of damage that he wants them to do, that the state's effects are working the way they're intended. So in terms of actually attempting the boss and defeating it from start to finish in a legitimate way, it's going to be me that's going to be the first person to ever try and do this against Penance, as it has been for many of the bosses along the way. So for that reason, it might not be the final version of Penance, but I am very, very excited to give this first version a go and see just how challenging it's going to be. Now, before that, I do need to make sure I've got full overdrive to everybody, so I'm going to take a few minutes out, so I'll edit this out, but I'll return when I have a full overdrive for everyone, so we can get started. Okay, my friends, I am ready to go, and it's time for the final showdown with Sheen.
You're counting on me, kid.
Let's get this show on the road.
Here we go.
Oh boy. Once again, I have not defeated Penance with anything other than Zanmato since 2014, I'm going to say. I defeated him with Zanmato a bunch of times for testing for my Yojimbo video, but in terms of like an actual legit battle, I don't think I've done it since 100% walkthrough 7 years ago. So of course, from that walkthrough you'd remember that normally in the vanilla version of the game, you don't even need to break the HP limit. You make that specialized armor with a defense plus 20 and you can survive. And if you tighten up that strategy, it works pretty well. But obviously that's not going to be very useful here, so... What? Okay, the arms have auto poison, that's good to know. And interestingly enough, I guess the arms turns are invisible. Because it can't be the case that they don't have turns, so it must be invisible. So I'll start with the Ultra Nuddle here, not a Hyper Nuddle. The mistake I've been making for a very long time. For that one, you can use a Healing Spring and a Stamina Spring, apparently. Let's hope I'm not wrong. Stamina Spring, Healing Spring. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, see that first move? Still Obliteration. Obviously, we have the Judgment Day problem here. I'm not sure if we're going to have the same Judgment Day mechanics or not. Okay, 15,000 damage, and it heals the damage that it does to you. So it heals the 45 and does 15. So I guess without 5 times cheer, it's doing about 22,000 damage, which would lead me to think that obliteration damage is the same. I think for now, so we're double buffed, I'm just gonna... We're gonna go defensive here first. Go for a Mega Mighty G as well. Now, so we can target the arms. The one question I had from the start that I'm sure a lot of you are wondering too is, will you be able to hit the arms? Because the Penance no arms challenge is like one of the most difficult challenges with like high stats Final Fantasy that you can do. But interesting enough, boss one arm is called Sanlo, one arm is called Takbian, I'm probably pronounced that wrong. Takbian? Bayan? I don't know. And Autark. If you remember from like the extra lore / documents that Pbirdman created, Lord Autark was something that was mentioned. I'll give some extra info about those names in the annotation because I don't know what they are right now. But I mean, I guess I'll start hitting the arms. I mean, this is the Penance way. Let's try and take the arms out first and see what happens. Okay. So immune to physical attack, but it also had auto protect, which is odd. I'm literally going to fire off a little fire at it in case it has auto reflect or something. It's immune to that too. So you can attack the arms, but they're immune to damage, so it's just as good as not being able to attack the arms. unless I'm missing something. So that's interesting. Very well. I assume it's the case of both arms. Yep. Okay, still experimental battle for now. So we don't need to get too invested here about winning. We're just trying to feel this one out. Yeah, I could have used Mega Mighty G there, but I just went with the Super. Yeah, look at that. Ultimaja. So at least obliteration damage-wise is not doing too much, but I mean, I'm thinking this is the kind of battle where if he has some sort of wither effect, even if it's like a -1, the battle's so insanely long that I can't see us surviving with wither effects because there's 12 million HP to take out here. So my guess would be that there are no wither effects, but obviously not entirely sure. So at this stage I'm going to start going on the attack on the main body because it doesn't seem like... Hold on, let me use one attack reels just to see what happens here. Attack reels was a huge part of being able to defeat Penance more quickly and efficiently in vanilla, but that's because it helps you take out the arms. But now, yep, totally immune, and you're only doing 5,000 damage to the body. So attack reels is totally useless to you in this battle. And the arm swipes used to petrify and shatter you if you didn't have ribbon in vanilla. It's probably still the same. So now, let's start trying to damage the main body. Okay, we can get max damage in, that's good. For now I'm going to go aggressive and attack with everybody and just see how we do. Riku's lower damage weapon is already showing. But she is a little bit less in terms of HP too, so maybe it's not that noticeable yet. I have to say I'm surprised that it's doing the same damage. Rapture, here we go, it's a new move. I like the name. Oh, the animation looks cool as well. It's got the Requiem animation, I think. Ooh, that's gangster. I like that. It's kind of amusing how they're taking like 7 damage after a move because of poison. I don't know why he's got that mechanic, either... I don't know, I'm thinking like zombification or something. Does it have anything to do with that? But oh, I used Final Fantasy Editor. I accidentally modified 2 sets of healing water. I won't use this one because obviously this one shouldn't exist. I'll use the first set. That's my bad. So we'll try and keep our HP generally high here. Obviously a big question was, can we hit Penance as well? Like, do you require max luck to hit Penance? The answer is no. 120 luck plus 5 times aim seems to be enough. At this stage I'm surprised by how many turns I'm getting though. Ah, that's a mistake. I'm used to the healing being on that side, the healing water. I sorted my items. So we're holding up pretty well so far, but I guess we have to be wary of breaks and such. But all good so far. All goody. But remember, there's 12 million HP to take out, so there's so much work to do. Oh, that's weird. Both of the healing water slots that I have, they're going down together. So I guess you can't kind of hack yourself like 500 healing waters because they all go down at the same rate. I mean, it's leading me to think that Judgment Day is probably still a thing here. I don't know if he's going to force the player to count Judgment Day or not. I've never fought Penance where I've really had to count, like keep a count of Judgment Day. For now, we'll just keep doing what we're doing until we see some moves that are going to cause us major trouble. Doing pretty handy damage so far, and we haven't seen a lot of the arm sort of usual moves, like Hyper Mighty G and stuff. Terra Graviton, Calamity. There you go. Okay, there's Terra Graviton. Oof, nasty. 23,000. Yeesh. And it breaks through ribbon as well, which is not good. But let's get rid of that poison. And of course darkness here is a bastard too, because it literally has to be dealt with. So depending on the moves, obviously you can get slowed down a lot. And I guess that's why you probably need all these turns here. Okay. I mean, the quickest way to get rid of darkness here is obviously quick pockets. So you've got to literally come into the battle with eye drops. Who would have guessed? And obviously this is phase 1. Who knows what's going to happen once we break the outer shell. Okay. Back on track. I think I'll get Riku to heal and these two can still attack. I'm doing almost max damage. Shadow hit. Ooh. And confusion, that's not good. They're not going to miss themselves if that happens. Oh shit. Where's my remedies? I think what must have happened is in Final Fantasy Editor, I must have somehow accidentally swapped healing waters with remedy. That's why I've got 2 healing waters and no remedies left. Well, that's good. Yeah, so don't do this one, kids. This is not a good idea. Since this is the first test battle, I'm going to try and just... Oh no, he's got Reflect. Shit. Yeah, you can't do this battle without remedy. Why don't I have a remedy? What the hell? Oh my god. That's annoying. Okay, I literally have to start again. I mean, we didn't exactly make that much progress anyway, so let me come back here with my remedies. Thankfully, you can buy them from Rin, so you don't have to like farm them some other way. Okay, so based on what we've seen so far, we have a Confuse that bypasses Ribbon, we have a Darkness and a Poison that bypasses Ribbon too. But it's one of these situations where, again, I'd mentioned this to Pbirdman before in 1 or 2 battles where I was like, yeah, if you're making stuff that's bypassing Ribbon, then is there even a point of getting Ribbon? Why don't we just use that slot on something else if it's not working anyway? And he quite rightly pointed out that, yes, I mean, you could think that, but it's kind of one of these double things where there are things that Ribbon's still protecting you against that you're not kind of seeing, but there are, of course, a few things that bypass it just to keep things interesting and not make Ribbon like absolutely broken in terms of status effects where you're basically immune to everything except death and doom. So like in this battle, for example, I'm pretty sure the arm swipe will still petrify you if you don't have Ribbon, for example. And I've got a bunch of remedies too, so hopefully once I get confused, it shouldn't be a problem. Well, unless the person who's getting confused has the next turn, then there's literally nothing you can do about that. And I guess when you get to this stage where you have like 120 luck, and you've sacrificed your evasion nodes because you don't really need them for a large amount of context, you leave yourself vulnerable to basically, as soon as you get confused, you're guaranteed to make the hit and you will kill yourself or another character. So confusion is absolutely deadly here because you pretty much won't be able to evade, I think. So gotta be very, very, very careful. Okay, I think with Waka I'm just gonna get straight into it here. I do wonder if he's lowered the HP, like if, let's say, the second half of the battle is more difficult, or there is like a wither effect where Penance gets progressively more difficult as a result of the wither. I do wonder if it's still 12 million HP. Has he reduced it to, let's say, 10 million? I kind of picked this up by accident. I was fighting something just to increase my overdrive in Makalania, and I picked up a couple of these, which was interesting. I'll have to find out what this is. I'll ask Pbirdman. I think this is something he added much later on. It wasn't in the storyline playthrough. Okay. Should be taking basically no damage here. 5 times cheer, protect, and defend. Look at that. So in terms of moves so far, we've got Ultimagia, which is definitely powerful, but not terrible, especially if you've got 5 times focus and shell. It's not too bad. Terra Graviton is still a pain in the arse. Yeah, those are the main ones I've seen so far. We had the new ability that had the Requiem animation. It's called Rapture. That's what it's called. And then we had the shadow hit thing. Uppercut. Ooh, it's the heave mechanic, that's cool. Ah, shit, all of my MP's gone. Wow. Yeah, there's definitely some nasty stuff there, and look at that delay. Yeesh. I guess another reason why he's given us plenty of turns between Penance's main one. Wow. Again, not much to do here, we're just going to keep attacking. But I guess I should be checking for breaks all the time. Okay. Good. At least in terms of like the numerical damage I'm receiving, nothing's been particularly overwhelming so far. I do think maybe he needs to make Obliteration hit harder. Like double what it hits now, I think. But again, maybe there is some kind of wither effect. Maybe it reduces your defense by 1 point every time or something. I don't know. Too many unknowns so far. Can't make too many judgments based on like the first 5-10% of the damage. Riku's been delayed so much, she still has the Sentinel effect from the Mega Mighty G that we used. But so far so good. Dare I say it's looking easy so far. Come on, Pbirdman, what do you got here? I tweeted that I was actually fighting Penance tonight, and you know, saying like, wish me luck, I don't think I'm going to be able to win in the first session. And someone, well, at least to me it seemed jokingly said, you'll defeat it first time. That would be kind of funny. Ultimately a bad thing though, but if I win first time, this isn't going to be the final episode. Well, technically I didn't win first time, I guess, because I didn't have the remedies, but I don't count that battle, because clearly you guys saw that I had remedies in the previous battle. There was a technical mishap that caused me to lose them. If Riku gets a second turn, I'm going to Turbo Ether for now. I'm going to try not to use Mega Elixirs and stuff. I gave myself like 99 anyway, so I couldn't be bothered to farm. Because if there's one battle you can afford to blow Mega Elixirs, it's going to be this one. But for now, we'll try and go a bit more of a realistic route. But we're definitely rattling through the damage here. Okay, should be enough. Yeah, I mean, gaining back 23,000 HP is not a big deal. The only time it becomes a big deal, I guess, is if we have... Let's say we get armor broken and I don't notice, and he heals back like 300,000 HP, then yes. Right, who's it this time? Wait. It did it to Penance? What? Why? That's so weird. What the hell? It uppercutted Penance and took away all of his MP? That's so strange. I'm going to make a note of that and just ask Pbirdman. That seemed way too weird. I can't imagine what purpose that would have had. I'm literally just going to make a note. Uppercut on Penance. Okay. That was strange. I mean, because look at all these free turns that I get as a result. It's odd. But I mean, it's one of these things. He did say that he spent a fair bit of time trying to check and tweak everything for this one. But it's one of these things. Sometimes when you want so badly for something to be good, it can sometimes backfire. You kind of overthink, and you second guess, and you over test, and all that kind of stuff. I can imagine he definitely feels pressure on himself to make this Penance battle really good. Especially, I mean, I could not have imagined, genuinely, like, I could not have imagined that even after 2 years, we'd be pulling, like, sometimes 8, 10, 12,000 views within a week for an episode. I mean, I genuinely didn't think it'd be that much. Of course, I expected it to be more than like regular LP episodes because it's Final Fantasy X and it's a mod and all that stuff, but like 2 years down the line, after 200 hours of content, to still be getting that many views and to have that much interest in the mod is pretty mind-blowing. So I guess one little downside of that is that Pbirdman feels more pressure than ever, I think, to try and, you know, make a mod that people are going to enjoy watching as well. So let's see, is it on Penance again? I think it is. Yeah, I can't say I understand that move because there's a delay associated with it, unless Penance is immune to delay, so maybe not, but it's still weird to me. Again, maybe an assumption is that Uppercut has some kind of wither ability or some kind of bonus ability that Penance benefits from. Oh shit. There you go. So we don't have Judgment Day, but we have Delta Attack. Well now. So this is, I guess, the trump card. Judgment Day is gone, but replaced with Delta Attack. And I guess it's up to us to try and figure out when does Delta Attack happen. And to summon a Shield Aeon for it, because as you guys know very well from the Dark Mega Sisters, you cannot survive Delta Attack. Damn. Unless this is a different variant of Delta Attack, but I doubt it. Let's see. I guess it's kind of cool because obviously you have the main body of Penance and the 2 arms. But yeah, this is the end of Attend 1, surely. Yeah, it looks pretty much exactly the same as the Dark Aeon version. So maybe those uppercuts are a signal for delta attack to be happening. All out attack. Oh, delta attack is what it does when it's gonna lose its thing? Is that what it's in response to? But game over though, right? Yeah, okay. So maybe you have to sort of calculate 3 million damage or something. I'm trying to remember, did it do it on its own turn or did it do it sort of in between? Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get caught out by that delta attack multiple times here, but now it's on us to try and find some kind of pattern, and I'm going to try and keep a note of how much damage I've done. Which is one of those things that's easier said than done. I'm not used to doing it, so whoops. But I'll try. So it went into all-out attack. Does that mean I already landed 30 hits on it? That was pretty quick. I was definitely looking forward to seeing what all-out attack was going to do. Okay, here we go. I'm very glad I didn't win on the first attempt though. But I think a lot of the battle hinges on how easily can we figure out when delta attack is coming. And once we do, what does all-out attack look like? If all-out attack is the same difficulty as the first part, then we should be able to win the first time we get to all-out attack and we survive delta attack. So we'll see. Obviously I've made an assumption here that he switches to all-out attack on like after 3 million damage. The same as vanilla, but maybe it's different. Maybe it's only after 2 million damage now. I don't know. Still going to play it the same, because until delta attack happened, everything was pretty smooth. And I mean, some of the new moves of the arms are cool, but they're not particularly devastating, I think. Except, I guess, for the confusion one. That one could cause big problems. But as you guys saw, I mean, I was fine until delta attack came along. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I mean, it did kind of scare me that it was called all-out attack. Yes, I mean, I was surviving fine here, but it's Penance, man. When you see Penance and all-out attack, that's a pretty scary combo. 4. Okay, there's Terra Graviton. Just a nasty, nasty move. So we'll be stuck at 4 for a little bit. Okay. Time for some quick pockets. I guess we can copycat. Well then, no, he'd do it to Waka, so it wouldn't work. So every time this happens, you do have to waste a fair few turns here. Okay, let's go back on the attack. That's number 5. 6 and 7. Okay. I think we've had 3 attacks on the arms so far. Pretty sure Ultimagia doesn't give you any breaks, but just in case. Okay, let's carry on. 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so this is the first uppercut on Penance. So the last time he used 2 uppercuts on Penance and then Delta attack came. 12, 13. So we've got a 13 plus 1 uppercut. So I'm just making a note of these as I go along, just to try and keep up. Last time it did 2, so for that reason I'm going to stay on the attack and hit him with number 14. Okay. So I'm wondering if those uppercuts are the cues for what's coming with Delta attack. Okay, I mean, the old Judgment Day counter used to be on 20. I feel like if that was the case, it would have got there by now. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19, 20, 21. Okay, 21 hits now. I feel like maybe now's a good time to bring in Yuna and summon a shield just in case. I feel like either this turn or the next one, that's when it's coming, so... I'm not going to do anything here in case I get countered. Okay, still obliteration. So 21 attacks plus 1 uppercut on itself was not enough. Maybe I'll try and keep Anima out. Okay, so this uppercut number 2. Terror Graviton. Anima is so big, man. Like, even against Penance, like, they're comparable height. Poor Anima, though. Getting wrecked here. So, 2 uppercuts. And it's still using obliteration. Yeah, we're going to be in trouble here because Anima's going to die soon. Oof. Big punishment for Anima. Wow. Poor girl. So what now then? Last time it was 2 uppercuts. I can only imagine it is to do with changing to the next form. So 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay. 26. Yeah, still obliteration. So if I'm right, that should mean that on its next turn, as long as I get 4 hits in, it should be Delta attack. Let's see. I love this Rapture move though. Again, maybe should do a little more damage. Or have some breaks or something associated with it. Nope. Okay. Here we go. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. Okay. So it's after the 31st hit. It's literally... So what, you need your Aeon to deliver the hit? Is that what it means? If so, that is a bit weird. That is weird. I mean, getting that timing correct is not easy, but at least we figured out it was on hit number 31, so it is when it transitions. So you will have to keep a count here. So attempt number 2 coming to an end, but at least I think we figured it out without too much pain. But at least I know what I have to do now. It's not going to be easy, but I guess we can manage it. We just have to make sure it's our Aeon that delivers the hit that takes away more than 3 million HP. Okay. I've literally only just moved back onto memory card slot 2, so I keep going on to slot 1 by accident. But this time, hopefully, we're going to see all-out attack. I'm going to try my best to time everything properly. And we'll see what the deal is. That's when we'll truly find out if defeating this version of Penance is going to be feasible or not. Because, I mean, everything's looked good so far, but I think until we see the all-out attack phase, we can't really comment. Alright, let's get it. Yeah, you guys are going to be seeing this one a lot. Because it is literally the final battle of this entire series, I'm going to try to not cut out too much. These are the farewell sessions after all. So I guess while we wait for the next form, there's a few things that I can talk about. I've been chatting with Pbirdman about how he plans to actually like air this whole thing and where's he going to host it and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, like, he's not like 100% clear exactly on how he wants to do it at the moment. Obvious answer is going to be like, yes, it will be a link to download the mod will be on my channel. It will be on like the videos and all that kind of stuff. That's the easy side. But I said I think it should be... I think it'd be good for you to have something that's like permanent, that's like unrelated to my channel, like host it somewhere. So that's something that I'm hoping he's going to look into. I don't think he can really host it on like GameFAQs. Steam, I guess, is not the Steam version, so I was thinking he could maybe like host it on Steam somehow, but I don't think that's going to work too great either. So he's looking into how exactly he's going to host it, but the obvious answer is that it will be obviously on my channel, and in the videos, and I'll make like I'll make a video or two before the official release or during the official release to point people in the right way and maybe go through some extra stuff that is worth going through before sort of letting everyone loose with the mod. So even once the Penance battle is done, there is going to be a little bit more content, I'm sure, where maybe we'll sort of chat with Pbirdman again like we did for the first podcast episode. Maybe have a run through everything again and just talk about, like, you know, some stuff to do with the mod. Maybe answer some queries or suggestions and stuff people have to do with it. That kind of thing. So, we'll see. But I guess this means that this is another one of those battles where you really do need to have some, like, at least one Aeon that can do some serious damage. If you completely neglected Yuna in the post game, then you're going to suffer. 11. You can stay healing here. Okay, let's go. 12. 13. But I would like to see Rapture do a bit more damage. I'll take this stuff back if in all-out attack the situation's different. The reason I say that now is because it's so easy for me to have all of my buffs that... Like, maybe if you don't have 5 times cheer or 5 times focus and the other stuff, then fine, but... We'll have to see. So this time... I can do it right. Thank you. So if you do get unlucky with that, that's going to set you back a little bit because you're going to lose the buffs of whichever character your confused person kills. Let's hit number 13, by the way. If I've been keeping count correctly. I did start talking over it, so there is a chance I might be wrong here, but I think it's 13. I'll probably summon an Aeon once I get to like 29 instead of 30. Okay, let's keep it going. 14. 15. 16. 17. Okay, I did get I was going to say I didn't get confused that time, but I got provoked. Yeah. Okay. 18. So with 5 times aim as well, you really don't seem to miss at all. So 120 luck and 5 times aim definitely working for me here. Okay. 20, 21, yeah, again Ultimagia, 5 times focus and shell is doing under 5,000 damage, so it's not really hurting me here. 22. Okay, a lot of counters at the moment. And she did get confused this time. I guess it's just luck then. Okay. Let's make sure no funny business happens with confuse. Okay, 23. Yeah, closing in now. 26. 27. 28. 29. Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna let the I'm gonna let the Aeon have the next hit in case I've miscalculated. Don't want to make any mistakes here. I need to see that next form. Okay. Because one of these things where, at this stage, I'm pretty certain the only way to survive here is to have an Aeon have the next hit. Otherwise, you're gonna get Delta attacked. I don't think there's a way to avoid it. Let's see what we can do. This was a bad decision because I can't control who these guys hit, so I shouldn't have summoned these three. They're gonna try and hit the arms even though they're immune. So if I can land a hit or two on Penance's main body, it should be fine, but I don't know if I'll be able to manage it. Okay. Taking a break, that's wonderful. Yeah, this is what I mean. This is the problem. Yeah, this is kind of messed up the balance. So this is just, I guess, you know, proof that you don't want to be summoning the Mega Sisters in this situation because you just don't have enough control. And well, he's gained back 135,000 HP now as a result. So this is the kind of damage that these moves can do because we don't have cheer, focus, protect, all that kind of stuff. See, looks so much more impressive now. Yeah, these guys need to get out. It's not helping. They're doing more harm than good right now. But at least as long as we don't attack it and bring it below a certain threshold, we'll be fine in terms of survival. So I'm pretty sure this means I can probably land one more hit myself before I summon the Aeon again. Because I'd already done it after the 29th hit. And Yuna fed it some nice HP here. So if you don't have the buffs in place, you do take significant damage. Okay. Right, now... I mean, the only problem is, what do we even do here? I mean, if these guys can't do enough damage, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to sort of... I've got to get so close. Let's see if Pain does the full damage here. Again, if it doesn't, we're in trouble. It healed? What the fuck? Yeah, I'm not sure how to push it to the next boundary. Because you saw even like Sandy did 4,000 and something damage. And obviously trying to keep up with all of their healing. So if it was the case that Penance didn't heal, once you hit 30 times, you'd have done like, you know, 2.997 million damage or whatever it is. And then like even a small hit would be enough to take you over the edge. But when it's healing like, you know, 15, 20, 30, 50,000 after every obliteration, then there's no way you can keep up. So I'm not really sure how to deal with it. I honestly don't know. For that reason, I am going to put a save state here, full disclosure. I don't want to have to fight to this part of the battle again. I need to... Because there is a chance that we have a bit of a... like a problem here. So let's just see if this triggers it. It doesn't. That's good. Let's see what does trigger it. So I had 3 more hits there. And it didn't trigger it. Surely I've done more than 3 million damage now. Yeah, okay, there it is. Okay, pretty sure 2 hits was safe. The scan text, by the way, is I'll show you the book of game overs. You are the lead role in the Book of Zeros. Book of Insults, page 13, go home losers. Okay. So yeah, after the next hit, Delta attack definitely happens. So, once again... Gonna try and set up here. Damn, Puna's taking punishment. Okay. So I want to try something like Impulse just to make sure it hits. No, it heals from Impulse too. How does that even work? How can it heal from... what? Okay, so last time I tried to use Bahamut's Impulse and it just healed from it, so... that's not it either. I mean, I can only imagine that either this is a modding sort of mishap or there is a way to avoid Delta attack. Yeah, not sure what to do here. Okay. I think what I might do here is I might end this first video as like a preview of sorts for Penance. And I'll have a chat with Pbirdman to see what the deal is. So first of all, we already have the issue with the uppercut hitting Penance sometimes. We need to have a look at that. That's the first thing. I'm going to inquire about the general damage being done by like obliteration and stuff. And also I'm going to ask him about how I'm supposed to get through this with Delta attack. It doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, the idea is that the moment it goes below, well, the moment after you do 3 million damage, it unleashes Delta attack automatically. So, if it's doing that, and the only way I can survive that is by having a shield Aeon, then surely by default my shield Aeon needs to be able to do enough damage to push it over the edge. So, in that sense, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do. I mean, it heals some Aeon attacks, so I don't see what choice I have here. Yeah, okay. So at this point I'm officially stumped because mechanically I can't understand how I'm supposed to make progress. So for now we'll leave this as like maybe a short like an hour hour and 10 minutes or so Penance intro video, just to get a feel for the battle and some of the tricks that we might be seeing. And I'll have a chat with Pbirdman because it's still early days for the Penance battle. There's, you know, because you've got the arms and the 12 million HP, which sort of makes other things more difficult. Like I said, if you have 12 million HP, introducing like wither effects that Pbirdman likes to do for these battles is more difficult because it's such a long battle. When you got the arms too, it's basically like 3 enemies in one. So, and well, it's Penance, so there's a lot riding on it. So I think I'm gonna not go too deep into this one. I'm gonna end things here as like a little teaser and have a conversation with Pbirdman and see where we're at with this. And I'll probably have an updated patch for my next attempt, and we'll see how we're doing. So thank you all for watching. There will be more to come, of course, from this Penance battle, and hopefully we'll get to see what the second form can do in the next video. So thank you all for watching. I will see you soon. Take care.